You guys, so we're going to go right into it. So you're going to go to the address bar and type in classroomscreen.com, and it is going to take you straight to a page, straight to like a digital whiteboard. It'll give you just a random background, which is why we're going to go into the first tool of background down here. You can see all your tools right here, and there's a lot more, so we'll get into it. Background is the first one. You can kind of pick whichever one you want. There's different pictures, some that like go with the seasons, like right now it's fall. And so you might put a fall background, or the students love the animal backgrounds, so I think those are super cute. They also have just the random ones with color, the pages, like, if you want to write stuff on, they have the dots and lines. And they have the option to upload your own background, which I think is cool. Like if you want to do something, specific for your school, or like your logo, or maybe something you put together yourself. The second really cool tool is down here. You see we're on our pointer. If you click on the squiggly line, you can annotate or write things, and you have the marker down here. Change the thickness of the marker to this side, change the color, and you just draw. And if you have like a smart board, you could like use a smart pen to write these a little clearer. There's a highlighter, eraser, paintbrush, and it's really cool because you actually do shapes. So, if you want to make a Venn diagram with your class, boom. And then there's the eraser where you can just erase. But yeah, that's a really cool thing that you could do with writing. And then when you're done, you just go back to your pointer. It actually saves whatever you put. So like if I were to write this right here and then just go back to my pointer, it stays right there if you need it to stay up there the whole time. This one's a class favorite. It's a poll where you could ask questions. It actually gives you an example, like if you do multiple choice and the question is, what do you think of today's lesson? You could put option 1, I loved it. I was confused. I need more information on this topic. Or let's say somebody's like, oh, there was a lesson. I really wasn't paying attention, which happens quite often. And so you could just make it those questions, and the students come up. I like it when it's a touch screen because they can just walk up to the board and vote just one by one. And then by the time you're done, you kind of have like a tally, how many kids have voted. It's cool because you could also change the type of graph it is. So it could be like a bar graph, a pie graph, a donut. You could change the color theme to match whatever color theme you have going on. You could also kind of change the question. So it could be multiple choice. If you're asking like how they felt about it, if they were comfortable, you can go to smiley faces and kind of have that like, what did you think of today's lesson? And you get to choose what options they have. But the students love doing this because they like to share. Like if I teach them about a specific lesson and it applies to something in their life, I say, okay, do you feel like this applies to you, or do you feel like this is you? Yes or no. And they love just voting and seeing everybody's answers at the end when they're lining up to go. So it's like a cool exit ticket too. When you're ever done with anything you put on here, you just click that trash button and it goes away. The randomizer picks people for you. So if you're like having issues with who gets picked to do what, you want anybody to feel like they're picking on you, or you're giving somebody else that option. I actually have my list right here from classes that I already started. But if you didn't have like an account, it would just, you'd say put a list. Like for example, I could put, let's see, Sue, John, Sally, Bob. You could tell me shorting our names here. And I click continue. And so let's say I'm trying to figure, okay, who gets to help with the smartboard today or whatever activity they like to do. And you click it, and boom, it picks Sally. You don't have anybody mad at you that you were being unfair, or they always get to do it, or whatever, and it randomly picks them. Um, it, it gives you the option to remember the students who are already chosen. So let's say you want everybody to get chosen once. You already know Sally already went. So we're going to do it again, and it can't choose Sally again, and it won't. So that's really cool. This helps in a lot of situations. We have the sound level, and like right now as I'm talking, it has a speaker that kind of picks up. So if you have this on your smartboard, it's going to ask for access to your microphone. But let's say the max noise is up here, and everybody's talking really loud. See, it bumps up, and it's like, well, after 5 bells, you guys are going to be at a level 0, or at least I need you working for 5 minutes on this level. I'll let you talk to your friend. If they go those 5 minutes, keeping it to that level you request. And obviously it's not this sensitive in a classroom because they don't have a microphone right up to them like I do. But this is pretty cool. Image, you could download any images. Just stick it here, open settings, download images. For me, I use my Bitmojis here. So when like I'm doing a lesson, it has my laughing Bitmoji down here with a little joke, and I put it through images. So that's really cool. Text. Um, you could, let's see, welcome to class, and then give them their assignment. Me, I'm pretty much known for having a greeting on the board, and then there's a joke at the bottom in my text. So I think that's cool. They added this new feature not too long ago where it kind of makes it to fit the size around the text. You can change the settings by making it to where there's not a white box there, so it just kind of looks like blends in with the background. And it has different fonts and sizes that you could use. Um, Changes the highlights it for you if you need it highlighted. So once again, nice feature if you don't want to write on the board by yourself, like with your own handwriting. It's nice to just type it in. Next thing, work symbols. This is good if you're like having classroom activity. Okay, it's silence for this activity, or this activity requires you to whisper, or this activity requires asking a neighbor, or this activity requires you working together. It's really good if the children need to display up at the front, like, oh, that's right, for this part we have to be at a 0, and you know, we know most of the time you're probably going to use this. But I guess for like testing, it's complete silence. Or reading, or silent reading, just keep that up there. Once again, trash it when you're done.